After you played the first return game, you should have a pretty good idea what the serve of your opponent looks like. And if their second serves are anything like the serves of the players that I mostly coach, advanced beginners to, beginning advanced players, should I say, from about 3-0, 3-5 to 4-0, then their second serves usually are softer and shorter, which means they're super attackable. And it is really the first opportunity for you to take over the point, to start it out on your terms. And did you know that you can put a ton of pressure on your opponent before they've even hit that second serve? In this video, I'm going to show you how to do exactly that. And of course, I'll also show you how to hit the actual return and take the point over and start it on your terms. Let's start with the position. Everybody knows that you should move up on slower and shorter serves. So from their regular return position, they move up to the baseline or even inside the baseline. So far, so good. But what a lot of players then neglect is to have the mindset that they still want to continue to move forward to their return. Because they expect a slower serve, rightfully so, they think they have more time, and then they just stand there. But by moving up initially, they're offsetting the slower pace by basically having less time, because the ball has to travel a shorter distance. So slower or not, the ball gets to them not necessarily fast, but sooner than what they thought. And again, they're just getting stuck completely stationary. They may hit the return, theoretically, from a more aggressive position, but the actual shot, the actual return then is anything but aggressive, because they may even get jammed, which of course is exacerbated if I were to close in even more, or they panic a little bit and overhit. And we all know what that looks like. When you're returning a weaker, shorter second serve, or possibly even a weaker first serve, your mindset wants to be that, yes, absolutely, you're moving forward already, but that you then continue to go after that return, to move forward to it and not wait for it. You're looking to be on top of your split step as your opponent is making contact. And after that, you're still continuing to move forward. And here's how you do that. I've moved up to challenge that shorter ball. I've split stepped. And now what I want to do is I want to get my outside leg behind the ball. So for me as a right-hander, my right leg on the forehand wants to step out so that I can now drive into the ball here. On my backhand, split step, I get my left leg behind the ball, and then I can stride in. Again, I'm trying to move forward and not just, okay, I'm in a more aggressive position, and now I'm just wailing at the ball. By continuing to move to the ball after you split stepped, you now have the added bonus that your entire body weight is going into the shot, which takes away a lot of the need to hit that ball really, really hard. And you're also getting a lot more stability in the ball. So the tip is absolutely move forward on a weaker and very foreseeable shorter serve. But maybe don't move in quite as much, because you still want to have time and the space to move forward into that return. What's your favorite shot that you use to attack slower and higher balls, usually out of a rally? Your forehand or your backhand? So of course, by moving up, you already put a lot of pressure on your opponent's second serve. But now when you advertise that, for instance, you want your forehand, you're pretty much already standing there like this. Joke. You're not going to do that quite as obviously. But by doing that, you are putting a tremendous amount of pressure on your opponent's second serve. Now, out of a rally, I wanted my backhand. I felt more confident. I could actually create more with my backhand, believe it or not. But when it came to attacking higher balls mid-court, which is basically what those blooper dink serves are, I wanted my forehand all day. So for instance, on the outside, for a regular first serve, I would probably be somewhere around here. But if I knew second serve, I'm moving up and I'm cheating over. I want to increase, of course, the chance that I'm getting my forehand. So for a right-hander on the outside, you sneak over a little bit to your left, exposing this side a little bit more. And of course, moving up on the deuce court, same thing, but I'm sneaking over here. Now, at the levels that I described earlier, advanced beginners, intermediate, newer, advanced, the placement of the serve is sketchy at the best of times, let's face it. So by you really putting the visual pressure on that person, you're now forcing them to hit really, really precise serves. If they now want to expose the slightly wider open forehand side for me, they now have to hit a way more precise ball. And can they do that under pressure when they're also hopefully fearing your stronger shot? And of course, if they still want to hit my backhand here, they have even less room to hit into, to serve into. You've put a ton of pressure on your serving opponent, and you might actually force a couple of double faults there. And to my mind, that's absolutely legit to influence your opponent by moving around before they've even hit a ball. Obviously, I'm not advocating that, dancing around here or whatever, waving, shouting, yelling to distract them. I can still call it subtle repositioning when you're changing your return position, and that's totally legitimate, and it will pay off. Let's talk about the mindset. Let's talk about the aggressive mindset. And I don't mean hitting the ever-loving bejesus out of the ball. I also don't mean that you're trying to hit a winner immediately with that second serve return. I'm talking about knowing exactly what you want to do with that shorter second serve, that you're committing to it and that you're executing it. Whether you then miss the ball or not, if you didn't totally get super greedy, I'm perfectly fine with that. Because even if you miss the ball, if you're signaling to your opponent that, hey, they can't afford to just bloop that ball in, you're going to reap the rewards later on, because can they serve? Even if they had that one precise serve, can they do it the next time? Can they do it over the duration of 3 sets? So what are my options when I'm that far inside the court already? I have my body weight coming into the shot as well. Well, clearly one of them is I'm going to hit that ball. I'm going to hit my forehand, most likely, because I've upped my chances by moving over a whole lot. I'm going to attack that ball, and I'm coming in with that, just like this. If you're not quite confident yet to move up to net, or by accident they hit the ball a little deeper and it's just not the right time to move into net, you're still attacking the ball, of course. Pick on their weaker side and then recover back to the baseline. But in either case, your number one weapon is depth. You want to go for deep targets. Aim for a good 2 meters inside the baseline. 3 yards, 4 yards, no idea, I'm better in meters, but well away from the lines, and a good big fat step from the single sideline into the court. That's where you want to aim. And then it almost doesn't matter where you're hitting the ball, even if you're hitting to their stronger side, the forehand, like this. The fact that you have already taken time away from them by moving in and then hitting the ball deep is a huge time crunch for your opponent. And at world-class level, actually, players do deliberately go to the stronger side, the forehand. For really most every player, the forehand is stronger. For the precise fact that there is such a time crunch there, because the wind-up on the forehand, for most players, is a lot bigger than the take back for a two-hander. So it's a time crunch, big time there, by also giving yourself a super, super smart target. Move up, move over, and aim deep, and good things will happen. And if you want more details on how to conquer the dink serve, including on how to exactly recover after you hit that return, check out this video.